So I'm John Anders Mansson, distinguished professor here at Purdue. So virtual cycling can be explained with, there is a digital platform. A digital platform that is, we can have on the screen in front of us, that's what we see of it. And then there is a smart trainer, the one that gives the resistance to the biker when he's. The combination of that is what we call virtual cycling, when they are putting together. And now it has to be a realistic simulation of various conditions. Could be going up a hill or down a hill, it could be wind, could be drafting. It has to simulate those so we get as close as possible to how it is in reality. So why have it in a virtual environment? Yes, first of all, it's convenient and an efficient way to train, race and interact, especially when it's bad weather or other conditions. You're not in an environment where you can really go out bike. You shouldn't forget, sometimes it's a little bit dangerous to have your kids out on bike all the time. This could give you a chance to have it at home, but at least when you're training. So that is definitely one important part. And it's a fitness tool. It's a great fitness tool, maybe more fun than other things, especially if you have it on the screen in front of you, what's going on, and you can compete with someone. Of course, we never replace the fresh air being out. We're not replacing that, but we're giving a complement to it. And that's important to see this as a complement to the normal way of cycling. So in any sport, to make the sport, we say, exciting, people get adhere to it, it has to be fair. If it's not fair, you say, okay, it's not exciting. It's either the one that has the best equipment or most money. No, it should be fair. And that fairness is going to be number one. And of course, when we now move to a virtual situation, is the trainer fair? Is the setup fair? We have to ensure that. And that is where we are coming in from what we are doing here in research. We do what we call homologation. We make sure that the equipment measure the same things. You can have different equipment, but they should measure the same thing. If they start to say everyone wins that have that type of trainer instead of that one, then we don't have a level playing field anymore, and we have lost some of the advantage of it. So this is a very, very important part in when we develop this kind of technologies. This is so important now for the International Olympic Committee. So they are talking about having the Esports Olympic Games. So that's of course going to be more than cycling. There are several sports that can go into that. So this is now a direction, and this is also led, that whole commission is led by the head of the International Cycling Federation. And to develop this as a discipline that will be then highlighted in Paris and in LA 28, and it's definitely on its way to grow into the Olympic Games as an alternative, and as I say again, an alternative to the traditional games. So the area of virtual competition, virtual sports, it's definitely growing. We have just seen, of course, the first thing we're thinking about is running on a treadmill. Then we have the virtual cycling, we have rowing. But there's many more sports to come in this area. And there is also, now they talk about triathlon. You can be at a swimming pool area, you do the swimming in the pool, you go up and go on the virtual bike, and then you run on a treadmill. So you can then find new way to have sport, and it gets very exciting if you can follow them. If you have a triathlon going on out on the field, you can just see them when they pass you. Now you can have everything in front of you, and that I think is a good example how it grows into several sports. And I would say sometimes it's just now imagination that is the limit, and technology that make it realistic and fair. We have to have it realistic and fair.